Grassy Posse Packer Nation, welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you're not to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grassi, and here we are again, not for the signing of a free agent, but the loss of another longtime Green Bay Packer, been playing since 2010, Safety Morgan Burnett. Now, Morgan Burnett today signed a 3-year contract with the Steelers, totaling around $14.5 million, which is just under $5 million a year. Morgan Burnett played 8 seasons with us. He was 71st in the 2010 draft, played about 102 games with us, starting all of those games. You know, had a great career with the Packers, and obviously last year he was severely missed when he was missing times, and I think that he was a leader in the locker room. He was able to play safety. He was able to rush. He forced that fumble last year against Le'Veon Bell. And so, you know, I think personally, while Morgan Burnett did stiff me and didn't sign my helmet, again, and if you've watched this show for a while, you know the story. I'm there with my helmet. I got my marker out. He goes to everybody. He looks at me and then just keeps on going and signing the people next to me. Morgan, what did I do wrong? This has haunted me every single night, and I feel like this is a little bit of a payback. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it's karma, but let's just say that, you know, maybe I should have signed my helmet. But in all honesty, I have been pulling for them to re-sign Morgan Burnett because I think that he is obviously a proven veteran. I think he's a great addition to the team, and I think there is going to be a hole without him. That being said, this is literally the reason why we signed Josh Jones, and from what I saw of him last year, I was very happy with. He's a hard hitter. He can tackle well. I just hope that he can fill those very large shoes that Morgan Burnett is going to leave behind. And I mean, Burnett is 29, so he's getting towards the end of his career for a safety. But I mean, I gotta be honest, less than $5 million a year that we couldn't offer him that, I'm kind of wondering what's going on. And I'm wondering if the Packers are shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. You know, first the Jimmy Graham signing, and I know a lot of you are happy about that, but I think we gave that man way too much money. He's getting around the same amount of money that he got for his ridiculous contract that he signed 4 years ago with the Seahawks. And so I'm not a huge fan of it. I really hope he produces. I hope that he is the same player that he was with Drew Brees and the Saints. It's just a lot of money. But you have these guys, you know, like $14.5 million for 3 years is really, it's not a ton of money in the grand scheme of things when it comes to overall cap space. And again, that just damages our backfield once again. And so someone just made a comment and made a point that, you know, teams won't have to run on us because we won't have a backfield. And while I agree and disagree, because I disagree because, again, a good pass rush can make your secondary that is god-awful and is trash look amazing. So I'm wondering if the Packers even offered this guy anything. Burnett, I think we kind of figured he was going to go, but this just is another position that needs to be filled and needs to have depth added to it. You know, add this to the fact that Jordy, you know, we offered him bare minimum, and I know a lot of us are still stinging about that. But I mean, he signed a 2-year contract, $15 million, $13 million guaranteed with the Raiders, which, you know, is pricey, but, you know, it's just this is the bad part. Everyone wants to play free agency until they start to lose people, or they start to lose money, or they start to lose the game of free agency. It's essentially like Game of Thrones, in that there's a little bit less blood and dragons. So that being said, I'm hoping that the Packers, I think we're gonna wind up drafting like an entirely new backfield. We'll definitely be targeting cornerbacks because at this point there's really just not a lot left. And so I would not be surprised if the first few picks, because the Packers, they have the most picks in the draft this year. Maybe they'll trade up a little bit, but hopefully they'll be able to get their guy, whether it's a cornerback or a safety. But I think our cornerback is definitely our number one need. So that being said, a sad day for us Packer fans, those who were fans of Morgan Burnett. But I wish him well. I'm glad that he didn't go to a rival. I'm glad that Jordy Nelson didn't go to a rival. So hopefully we won't ever have to play them, and my heart will be ripped in two. But what do you think about the Morgan Burnett thing? Do you think the Packers are playing a little dangerous here? Because, I mean, this is what we wanted, right? We want to be aggressive, and we're making those big deal signings. It's just, seems like we're actually not signing the guys that could help us win. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm a little pessimistic about this, but Morgan Burnett, seriously, dude, like, you should have signed my helmet. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com, TomGrossI Comedy, or Tom Grossi Comedy on the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Also check out the Patreon account at Patreon at Tom Grossi Comedy. You can also check out this podcast, Packcast, P-A-C-K-A-S-T. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and YouTube. During the regular season, we interview fans from the opposing team. So thank you so much for checking that out. Wonderful. I hope, like, maybe they'll sign some cornerbacks, or I have a feeling, though, they're just going to be praying that they get somebody good in the draft. We'll see. And we'll keep watching. Thank you for watching. I'm Tom Grossi, and as always, go Pack Go.